Signing of Bela Bill welcomed despite moans. Teacher unions have welcomed the signing bill of the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bela Bill into law, despite the rumblings from National Government of Unity GNU partners who have threatened legal actions should President Cyril Ramaphosa sign. On Friday, Ramaphosa signed the Bela Bill into law at the union buildings, but delayed by 3 months the implementation of 2 of its clauses dealing with admission and language pending consultation. SA National Democratic Teachers Union Sadtu General Secretary Mugwena Maluleke welcomed the bill and described it as ushering in new changes to integrate, deracialise and democratise schools. The department has a role to play in terms of making sure that no language can be used against any learner at our schools, Maluleke said. CEO of the National Professional Teachers Organization of South Africa, NAPTOSA, KZN, Dirona Mudli said they also welcomed the Bela Bill as they were consulted and gave extensive input on it. NAPTOSA said the bill is transformative and gives clarity to sections of the South African Schools Act SASA and have been disputed in the courts. It protects the rights of learners by giving access to education without discrimination. The bill, now the Act, allows stricter control of school governing bodies, SGBs, greater accountability and transparency. SGBs are also now given more freedom in certain respects to govern without approval of the HOD or the MEC, allowing the smooth functionality of the school. The Nelson Mandela Children's Fund NMCF also welcomed the bill, particularly on aspects of safe and child protection. It believes that the Bela Bill would go a long way when it comes to assisting the departments in implementing the SA Schools Act and addressing other challenges such as corporal punishment, making it compulsory for all children to attend grade R, and getting parents not willing to take responsibilities when it comes to their children's schooling to do so. ANC Acting National Spokesperson Zuko Kotlimpi said they welcomed the signing of the bill. AfriForum, Solidarity and the Solidariteit Schoolentreteningstrum SOS said Ramaphosa's decision to open the 2 clauses for further discussion was proof that public pressure could succeed. The organizations held discussions with the president on Thursday. The danger posed by this law has not now been fully averted, but it creates room for further discussion. AfriForum, Solidarity and SOS's legal team is still ready to fight the case in courts should these discussions lead to nothing. Our position remains that those articles of Bela will have destructive consequences for African schools and children if implemented, and AfriForum therefore remains ready to oppose it on all possible platforms, said AfriForum's Elena Bailey. HNSA's Parliamentary Chief Whip Lerato Nkobeni said the limited consultations period was merely an appeasement mechanism rather than the genuine attempt to address the numerous concerns raised. The DEA has warned that Ramaphosa would violate the letter and spirit of the GNU Statement of Intent if he went ahead. The Department of Basic Education was represented at the signing by Deputy Minister of Basic Education Dr. Makhapo Mkhaule after Minister Siviwe Kwarupe, who is adamant that Ramaphosa should refer the bill back to Parliament for reconsideration, boycotted the event. WhatsApp your views on this story to 071 485 7995. In the meantime, no need for MK elective conference, says Zuma. Former President and Umkhonto weSizwe Party MKP leader Jacob Zuma says his party has not yet made a decision over holding a national elective conference where it will elect its leaders. Zuma was speaking in escort at the memorial service of 6 MK members who died in a taxi crash on their way to Nkandla to celebrate Zuma's wife's birthday. The memorial service was held on Saturday. Speaking on hundreds of MK supporters, Zuma said holding a conference would pose a threat to the organization as the party fears spies linked to the ANC could link to infiltrate and sabotage them. Speaking in Zulu, Zuma said the current MKP leadership was strong and formidable, and therefore there was no need to hold an elective conference. He added that this was a deliberate decision. There are things that we have deliberately done as Umkhonto or MKP, like the issue of holding an elective conference. Our enemies are very smart. We will call the conference and they will raise funds to support their candidates and destabilize our organization, so we will not have a conference. I once asked other comrades, why is the conference important? Scientifically speaking, what is the importance of having an elective conference? Why must we elect a new person after a few years, even though the current person is still a good leader? I do not think having a conference is a good idea, he said. Zuma also paid tribute to the 6 MKP members who died in the crash. He said the members emboldened the fighting spirit and were courageous. Our fallen comrades were brave and they deserve to be celebrated. These people were on their way to surprise Umakumalo, Zuma's wife, and she was very excited that there were women coming to make her day. I want to say we will continue to liberate our people just as they did. Addressing the crowd, Zuma also shared his fond memories of the late Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan, saying that for some reason their relationship later became complex. When I wanted to go into exile in Eswatini, I had no money. I went to this guy, Pravin Gordhan, who passed away yesterday Friday. He was my comrade and he was working in a pharmacy. I told him I wanted money and he gave it to me. Later, something got into him and he turned on me, Zuma said. In the meantime, Ronaldo Gauss blames IOL for being fired from DA, but Twitter is having none of it. Ex-DA Member of Parliament MP Ronaldo Gauss is set to release a full press statement this week following the expulsion from the party on Friday. Gauss took to X, formerly Twitter, to rant about IOL being responsible for him being kicked out of the party. DA National Spokesperson Willie Oakham said Gauss' termination comes after a thorough investigation was conducted by the DA's Federal Legal Commission FLC into the allegations against Gauss. The FLC found Mr. Gauss guilty of contravening several sections of the DA's constitution. The DA remains committed to upholding its values of accountability, non-racialism, and respect for all South Africans, said Oakham. Gauss maintains there is a campaign against him and that the media, and IOL in particular, was responsible for him losing his job and being booted from the party. I will not stop at anything to clear my name and hold those accountable who participated in my horrible smear campaign, Gauss said in a post on X. But users on X felt Gauss showed no remorse for the behavior that led to his membership on the DA being terminated. At Ronim8910-461 said, "Didn't you say those videos were AI and doctored against you, to which the DA responded they were genuine, and now you're saying you said it to spark outrage?" Another ex-user at WavyBoy19 said, "The fact that you believe there is a message behind the videos is exactly why any litigations against IOL will lead you to more tears and financial agony. Imagine presenting that argument in court. You either getting bad legal advice or not remorseful at all." While at African Lee said, "Why didn't you take an opportunity to unreservedly apologize when at Mighty Jeremy approached you? Instead, you brought up IOL again when Jamie clearly stated that you need to apologize for the use of the words. User at Edo 7662776 said, "We are just happy that you are finally paying for your racist attitude. This will be a very good lesson to other racists out there. With your attitude, you just don't qualify to be a parliamentarian. Go look for something else, like all of us. Bye." Gauss said he would be pursuing legal action against IOL, aiming to address what he describes as deliberate smear campaign that has damaged his reputation and cost him his parliamentary role. On the other hand, cheerleaders for racial violence must have no space in parliament. COSATU welcomes the expulsion of Ronaldo Gauss. The Congress of South African Trade Union, COSATU, has lauded the Democratic Alliance's DA decision to expel racist Ronaldo Gauss from parliament. This expulsion comes after a thorough investigation conducted by the DA's Federal Legal Commission, FLC, into the allegations against Gauss. The FLC found Gauss guilty of contravening several sections of the DA's constitution. According to the DA's national spokesperson Willie Ockham, the DA remains committed to upholding its values of accountability, non-racialism, and respect for all South Africans. COSATU's parliamentary coordinator Matthew Parks expressed relief that Gauss has been removed from his position, saying, "Cheerleaders for racial violence must have no space in parliament in a democratic South Africa." Parks emphasized the importance of eliminating such figures from public office, particularly given the deep emotional and economic scars left by apartheid. Ordinary citizens who still bear the deep emotional and lived economic scars of apartheid should never be expected to tolerate such political charlatans and their public representatives, worse at the expense of ordinary workers' hard-earned taxes, he said. Parks said that the expulsion of Gauss follows a similar action taken by DA leader and Minister for Agriculture John Steenhuisen, who recently removed Roman Carnabach, another figure associated with racial incitement, from his role as Chief of Staff. COSATU's call for such actions reflects a broader expectation for political parties to demonstrate sensitivity to the trauma experienced by Black South Africans, said Parks. Parks also stressed the need for humility and self-correction, urging the DA to apply the same consideration to the Basic Education Laws Amendments Bela Act. He noted that millions of Black South Africans support the Act's provisions for oversight by the Department of Basic Education (DBE) concerning school admission, dress codes, and language policies. Parks said that the fight for a non-racial, non-sexist South Africa, as envisioned by the African National Congress Freedom Charter and enshrined in the Constitution, is an ongoing journey. This responsibility did not end as we cast our ballots in our first democratic elections on April 27, 1994, but is a daily journey, Parks said. In addition, Parks said that COSATU advocates for a firm stance against hate speech and incitement. Parks called on the government to enforce the Prevention and Combating of Hate Speech and Crime Act with the ruthless efficiency it demands, and to reject hatred in all its forms across social media and public platforms. And that's it from INJIBS Network. Stay tuned to our celebrity and gossip news.